This is a thank you video. I want to thank you and you and you and you. In fact, delightfully, I could go on over 1,000 times thanking you. Why? Because this channel, that is youtube.com/browncarguy, has now got to over 1,000 subscribers. And for that, I've got to thank all of you wonderful people out there who really have been heeding my calls to subscribe to this channel. And to celebrate, as promised, I did release my latest car review video, which was of course the Ford Mustang Bullet edition. You can see on the screen behind me. On this occasion it was filmed and edited and produced by my son Junaid, who is a media production student. We had a lot of fun with the intro for that, so please go check it out in the BCG car reviews playlist on this channel. Hope you like it. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Recently, I also filmed exclusive walkarounds of the sensational Aston Martin Victor and the Ineos Grenadier off-roader, and those videos are getting a lot of love from you guys too. Thanks, and if you haven't seen them, just head over to the BCG Bulletins playlist and you'll find them in there. And then of course, there's my Brown Car Guy and Buddies series, which has featured some amazing personalities from around the world with some extraordinary and astonishing stories to tell. More of those coming soon, so check out that playlist, and as ever, hit that notification bell icon button as well so that you don't miss any of these video uploads. As some of you already know, I moved back from Dubai to London at the end of 2018 and have since been building my own brand, Brown Car Guy, as well as freelancing for titles here and in the Middle East. When it came to this particular YouTube channel, I only really started to focus on it since the beginning of this year, 2020, at which point I think I had just over 100 subscribers. So to get to 1,000 subs in just 8 months is fantastic news, and I am so very grateful. Now it's going to grow even faster. So whilst you're already subscribing, you are, aren't you? Go tell your friends and family to do the same. And why should they do that? Well, I don't have to tell you, you already know. Because here, and indeed on my other platforms, that is browncarguy.com, and on social media, just search for hashtag browncarguy on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Anyway, I constantly put up a lot of great automotive content. That includes car reviews, newsy stuff, expert opinion and commentary from me and others, particularly in the BCG Bulletins and Brown Car Guy and Buddies videos. Plus, I love covering events, of course, when COVID allows me to get out there. And really, I try to do all of that in my own unique style and in a manner that is engaging and relatable. Something that you feel really speaks to you. And that's important to me because for me, creating all of this content is about communicating with you. It's all about providing information, guidance and advice, and of course doing it all in an entertaining and exciting way. Hey, we gotta have fun, right? Cars are fun, that's what this is all about. Now, the beauty and the wonderful thing about being independent is that I have no bosses, no taskmaster, nobody dictates about what content I should or shouldn't do or how I should do it, and most importantly, no one is telling me what I can or cannot say. Now, I've worked in the corporate culture and big and small publishing environments, and of course, inevitably, there are commercial concerns, and perhaps it's not always possible to be entirely genuine in our thoughts in those situations. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure, particularly from advertising departments. However, as an independent agent, I'm freer than ever to be honest and authentic. The advantage to you is that I'm even better able to provide you the service that actually I've always tried to deliver throughout my career, to make sure that you get the best information and advice for you to make the best judge decisions when it comes to buying and selling cars, and also to be the most informed if you want to learn more about the car industry and the market and are just yearning to understand it better. And, to generally keep you up to date on everything about cars and motoring. Plus, as I mentioned, to get a little laugh out of my content, fun is important, especially in the miserable times we live in at the moment. So those are the good bits. about doing what I do and the way that I'm doing it. The bad bit is that apart from that little bit of freelance that I mentioned earlier, most of which, let's be honest, has taken a bit of a hit during this pandemic, I don't actually make any money off this content. So you're maybe thinking that, well, YouTube pays me, but in order for that to be worthwhile, I'd have to have millions of views on this channel. Now, okay, admittedly, I've got to say, I'm pretty proud of having already got over 170,000 views on this channel through 280 something videos. In fact, I believe this will be the 286th upload. However, as you know, when it comes to YouTube, that's a drop in the ocean. And sadly, as clever as they'd like you to think their algorithms and interwebby bots are, in actual fact, they're not discerning enough to identify genuinely engaging content that has an impact on audiences, as I know that mine has from the many messages and DMs I get regularly about my content across all my channels, not just YouTube. So yeah, don't forget my multi-channel, multi-platform output. I write long, detailed reviews and lots of other stuff on my website, browncarguy.com. And I post a lot of day-to-day stuff, behind-the-scenes stuff, and just general cool content and photography on my Instagram and Facebook. And on Facebook, I also often post entire press releases on the latest cars, industry events, research, as well as market and sales data, plus cool cars that I found for sale, and also car competitions with cool cars. So you can actually win stuff there. And all that is in addition to the YouTube content here, which you're probably already familiar with. So for Facebook, make sure you follow facebook.com/browncarguy, and I have two Instagram accounts, @ShazadShake and @browncarguy. Twitter is just Shazad_Shake. All the links will be below in the description, but you know what? You can just search #BrownCarGuy or simply Google it. You can't miss me. Needless to say, churning out all this content requires time, effort, energy, and of course, money. You know, sweat equity are put in for the love of cars and you guys, my wonderful audience, but cash is harder to come by, especially these days. And you know, all this kit and going out and doing stuff, well, that needs pesa, innit? Fortunately, there is such a thing as patreon.com. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it's a great concept that fundamentally exists to solve the answer to how content creators like me can sustain themselves and make feasible their content output. Now, I don't believe in charging for this sort of content, and I won't. So, whilst one way of looking at Patreon is as a platform for creating a subscription service, well, it isn't really, because that would mean that you have to pay to view my content, and that's not the case at all. My stuff here and across all my platforms is and remains free to view. But another way of looking at it is that patreon.com is a platform where you can kind of voluntarily pay and hence support your favorite content creators. The great thing about it is that it is legit, independent, and a trusted platform. They have all the payment systems set up. Sure, they take an admin fee from me, and they collect all the relevant local taxes. But you can be secure that you're not just sending money to some random bloke on the internet, but instead safely and voluntarily subscribing to a content provider through patreon.com. You only need to go there once to set up your subscriptions. Otherwise, you continue to follow me on all of my regular channels as normal. Although having said that, you could maybe be able to get additional unique content on my Patreon page, which, by the way, as I should have mentioned, is patreon.com/ShazadShake. As a content creator, I'm able to set up tiers of subscription options. So, for example, the base price you can commit to is just £2.40 a month, or whatever the equivalent is in terms of the currency exchange and taxes where you are. It's all worked out on Patreon. But hey, £2.40, I mean, that's way less than any motoring magazine that you'd pay for. That is if you still buy car magazines. Anyway, magazines make money on advertising, not on copy sales. Believe me, I know. I was editorial director of a whole bunch of magazines once. And I saw some of the best ones close because whilst the readers clamored for them, advertisers just wouldn't support them. Absurd, mega absurd. And that's not just tragic, but it's plain wrong. Sadly, It's the reality of publishing. So that £2.40 means a lot more to me than it ever would to a magazine publisher, not just in terms of money, but as a kind of validation and confirmation that you're enjoying and appreciating my content and finding it worthwhile. I'll tell you, as a creative person, there is just no better turbo boost to my motivation than knowing that the content I create is being consumed, enjoyed, and valued. So back to the options on Patreon, or rather the tiers as they call them, or gears as I've called them. So that £2.40, that's for first gear. Next up is at a price of £5.40 is second gear, and for that you get access to an exclusive piece of content that I've written, which is like my parody sequel to the original Cannonball Run movie, one of my all-time favorite movies, but it's set in modern times with contemporary supercars, though it parallels the original escapade. I've had a lot of fun creating some of the key characters for it. You'll find a sneak peek of it also on browncarguy.com, but with quite a bit more of it on patreon.com/Shazad Shape. In third gear, you'd be paying about £10 a month, and for that, you get the same content, but you also get one of these brown carguy hats, which I think are pretty cool. For about £20 a month in the fourth gear, you'll get the content, the hat, and well, you remember the Buddies series that I mentioned earlier? They're like these 30-minute plus video chats, usually done on Zoom. Well, I will do one with you. So basically, you'll get to be in a video with me. Moving up to fifth gear at around £50 a month, and you'll get all of the above, plus I'll buy you coffee. Oh, okay, you know what? I'll buy you lunch. We can meet up and chat about cars, life, the universe, and Star Trek if you like. As you can see, I'm a big fan. That's the Enterprise up there. Some of you might have noticed that. I do love the Vulcan Edict. Infinite diversity in infinite combinations. Honestly, that means quite a lot to me. Finally, there's sixth gear, and that's about £100 a month. Pledge that, and I'll do a shoot and story with you and your car. And plus, wow, yeah, you are just awesome in it. Now, obviously, for fifth and sixth gear, you'd have to be in the UK because that's where I'm based, or if you happen to be visiting, or if you are where I used to live, which is in Dubai, because I do hope to be visiting there again soon once this whole pandemic thing blows away. Additionally, I should also mention that a new thing that I'm going to start to do, starting from this video and going forward in most of my videos, is that as a patron, you'll get a name check at the end of each video. So let's do that. So big shout out to my past and present patrons. So thanks so much to Muhammad Ali Umaid in the UAE, Partha in India, Tom Conway Gordon right here in the UK, and Isaac over in the States. You guys absolutely rock. And to all the rest of you, everybody else, thanks once again, not only for watching this video, but also for helping me reach that 1,000 subscribers landmark. Stay tuned, lots more great content coming your way across all of my channels. Subscribe to and follow everything, and tell all your family and friends to follow the Brown Car Guy. Live long and prosper.